Good morning. I welcome you to this session. We will continue the discussion on normal shocks. So, last class actually we were discussing that for a shock, if we know the properties at the upstream of the shock, we are interested to know the properties at the downstream section. That means, for a given flow properties at the upstream of the shock, what are the flow properties after the shock waves? That means, across the shock waves there is a change in flow properties and we are interested to find that. So, let us continue the discussions in this way that this is the duct and let this is there is a shock here, a shock wave, and if the upstream section is designated by x with all given properties that max px, rho x, tx, we are interested in all those properties across the shock. So, last class we derived one very important relation relating to the first the Mach number after the shock, downstream of the shock, and we probably, if you recall, we get two solutions from a quadratic equation connecting the Mach number at the section y after the shock and the before the shock, that means MAy and MAx, and we found one trivial solution, that is MAy is MAx, that is the equality. Another one is the, which is the possible solutions, that MAy square in this way can be written as, and it is very simple from that equation, 2 by gamma minus 1 by 2 by gamma minus 1 MAx square minus 1. So, this is the relationship. That means, if we know a value of MAx, that means the Mach number at the upstream of the shock, then the downstream of the shock we get the Mach number which is given by this. After that, what we was discussing is the non-dimensional of, just for the moment we come to a different aspect, that non-dimensionalization of velocity. Non-dimensionalization of velocity in compressible flow. Now, the velocity in compressible flow is non-dimensionalized by three reference velocity. Now, here one very pertinent question comes, that this V by A, the Mach number at any section, is itself a dimensionless parameter, but this cannot be used as a dimensionless velocity. This is because a change in Mach number implies both in change in V and A. This is because when the flow changes from section to section, the flow velocity, along with that the velocity of the sound also changes, because the state properties change. So, therefore, Mach number cannot be used in as a dimensionless or non-dimensional flow velocity, because the reference value A, which is used in the denominator here by its definition, also change with the change in V. So, therefore, three reference velocities, actually this was discussed in our last class also, but I feel that I was little fast, so there were some confusions, so that is why I want to repeat it again. So, there are three reference velocities used in this connection. One is the maximum velocity. One is the maximum velocity. Maximum velocity is given by root over 2 Cp into T0. You know, relating to stagnation condition in an isentropic flow, if we write the energy equation, H plus V square by 2 is equal to H0, stagnation state and any other state given by velocity V. And for a perfect gas, Cp by Cpt, that H is Cpt, is equal to Cpt0, you know that. So, in general, V is equal to root over 2 Cp for any adiabatic flow, it is the equation like that. So, the maximum velocity by theory comes when t is equal to 0, this hypothetical case. So, this a theoretical velocity can be used as the maximum velocity. Another one is the, this is number 1, number 2 is the acoustic velocity A at the stagnation condition. This is given by gamma r T0. Well, another one is the acoustic velocity at the critical condition A star, which is given as gamma r T star. Now, usually in compressible flow the velocity is non-dimensionalized or is made dimensionless by use of this velocity as the reference velocity. It is the velocity of sound at the critical condition gamma t dash, t star. Now if we use this V with A star, the ratio of the flow velocity to the A star. So A star has a unique value in a particular flow condition. It does not change from section to section. It has a unique value, that is the value of velocity of sound at the critical condition. This is defined as the MA star. So confusion here was that the last class, the asterisk or the star is used for all properties at the critical condition. For example, by P star we mean the pressure at the critical condition. By T star we mean the temperature at the critical condition. By rho star we mean the density at the critical condition. Similarly, A star used here means the sound velocity at the critical condition. That means it is nothing but root over gamma r T star in case of perfect gas. But this critical condition is defined when the velocity is equal to the velocity of the sound, flow velocity. That means V star, the flow velocity at the critical condition is A star. So therefore MA at the critical condition is 1, but we do not use the symbol MA star to denote the Mach number at the critical condition. Rather MA star, there may be a confusion, this symbol, this is the convention, MA star is used to denote the dimensionless velocity V by A star. So MA star is not the Mach number at the critical condition, because this cannot be used as MA star, because this is unique and this is the value of this is 1 at the critical condition. So we take the critical condition as defined by MA is equal to 1 when the flow velocity is equal to velocity of sound. But MA star is not the critical Mach number at the critical section, it is V by A star. Now from a simple energy equation, if I write the energy equation with at any section given by the velocity V and the critical section, we can write H star plus V star square by 2. All right. Now H can be written again Cpt plus V square by 2 is equal to Cpt star plus V star square by 2. Now what is Cp? Cpt, Cpt here we can write Cpt is equal to gamma by gamma minus 1 RT. So this is nothing but A square. So A square by gamma minus 1. So if I substitute this here, we get A square by gamma minus 1 plus V square by 2 is equal to, similarly this will be A star square by gamma minus 1 plus V star square by 2. Now I write this first, so V square by 2 plus A square by gamma minus 1. Now V star is A star, that is true at the critical condition. So this can be written as, if I take this common, so 2 gamma minus 1 gamma plus 1, okay, into A star square. Now if I divide by A star square this equation, left hand side and right hand side, we get MA star square by 2, V by A star by definition is MA star, plus 1 by gamma minus 1 A square by A star square is equal to gamma plus 1 divided by 2 gamma minus 1. All right. Now A by A star can be replaced like that. By definition, what is A? MA is V by A. That means A is V by MA, and MA star is, that is the dimensionless velocity. Mach number is also a dimensionless quantity containing velocity, but the flow velocity and the sound velocity, but here it is the flow velocity and a reference velocity which is a sound velocity at a particular condition. So that is the difference. Here both the quantities change with the flow, but here only the flow velocity change, and this is being normalized with a reference quantity at the denominator. This is the difference. So therefore one can write A by A star A by A star is equal to MA star by MA. That means we divide this by this, A by A star. So if I substitute this A by A star in terms of MA star by MA, we get an equation, this is this, we get an equation connecting MA and MA star, alright, MA and MA star. Let me write this. If we write this, we get an equation. Can you see that? Okay. So we can write an equation MA star square by 2 plus 1 by gamma minus 1. A by A star means MA star square by MA square, okay, is gamma plus 1 by 2 gamma minus 1. MA star by MA is A by A star. So A by A star square is MA star square. That means this equation now can be expressed in two fashion. One is that MA as a function of MA star, very simple, one can do, or MA star as a function of MA, either of these two. If it is written, you will get, the most important one is MA star square, MA square, MA as a function of MA star, 2 by gamma plus 1 MA star square divided by 1 minus gamma minus 1 by gamma plus 1 MA star square. You don't have to remember all this formula, you have to know the logic and the steps through which they are being deduced. Similarly, one can express MA star in terms of MA as gamma plus 1 by 2 MA square divided by 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MA square. Now out of these two, this one is used, this is very important, that Mach number is expressed in terms of the dimensionless velocity MA star. Now if we use this in the earlier one, now we stopped here. Now if I express MAy in terms of MAy star and MAx in terms of MAx star, what we get? Now before that, you see that this is the expression. Well, no, this is not the thing where I did it. Sorry, I think we should concentrate here, otherwise we will be in trouble. So MAy, these are the two solutions we got. MAy in terms of MAx. Now here one thing is sure, that if MAx is greater than 1, we already recognized that the shock takes place when the upstream condition is supersonic. That means in a supersonic flow. Then from this equation one can prove that when simple mathematics can prove this, that when MAx is greater than 1, MAy will be less than 1 with feasible values of gamma between 1.67. As you know, the gamma for compressible fluids, that gases, varies between 1 is the absolute minimum and 1.67 is the maximum one for all polyatomic gases. So taking any representative value between that, it can be proved that when MAx is greater than 1 MA, that means the shock changes a supersonic flow to subsonic flow. This will be more clear if we express this Mach number at the two section in terms of the M star, that means dimensionless velocity. That means by the use of this equation, the equation which we just used, by the use of this equation. That means MAy, MA, that means the MAy or MAx, whatever you tell, that means the Mach number in terms of the corresponding MA star. If we do that, then we will get the relationship like that, MAy star. So this is a very simple relationship, is equal to 1. That means here it is obvious that the gamma factor is not there. So when MA star, MAx star is greater than 1, that means supersonic, MAy star is less than 1. That means supersonic to subsonic. Okay. Now there are certain routine calculations for the pressure values. Now we are interested with temperature and pressure. That means our basic motto is again to find out all the quantities after the shock. Quantities are temperature, pressure, density, rho y. These are the main flow properties or the state points. So this we will calculate. How we will calculate? If you remember the temperature ratio, now it is very simple. When we have already derived the relationship between MAY and MAX, now if we can write or we recall the relationship between Ty and Tx in an isentropic flow for a perfect gas, it will be 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MAX square plus divided by 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2. We deduce it with the help of the relationship between the stagnation properties and the local properties, that is 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 Ma square. So logic is like that, and this was derived from starting from the basic energy equation for an adiabatic flow, and considering the flow is inviscid and using the perfect gas as the ideal gases, as the working fluid. Well, so here if we use MAY, if we just here MAY in terms of MAX, then we get a relationship like this, which is a big one. You don't have to remember, again I am telling, just the logical step you have to know. Let me write 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MAX square into 2 gamma by gamma minus 1 MAX square minus 1 divided by gamma plus 1 whole square divided by 2 gamma minus 1. So objective is that when we know the property at the upstream of the shock by the MAX, then we can find out the temperature ratio. That means knowing Tx and MAX, we can find out the Ty. That means the temperature after the shock. That means the temperature ratio Ty to Tx is expressed in terms of MAX. With the same philosophy, the pressure ratios are expressed in terms of the Mach number as a function of MAX. The procedure is like that. If we recall the most simple ratios of Py by Px, which was derived by the exploitation of the impulse function, equality of the impulse function, which, Fy better to write, Fy is Fx, which was derived with the use of momentum equation, the equation of motion. Then probably if you recall, this was gamma MAX square 1 plus. These deductions are very simple. So only thing is that you will have to know the logic, that this is from this. So simply again the substituting MAY in terms of MAX, that means the same equation MAY in terms of MAX, we can derive the Py to Px, Py by Px is equal to 2 gamma by gamma plus 1 MAX square minus gamma minus 1 by gamma plus 1. Now here one interesting thing you can immediately prove. You can immediately prove that for any value of gamma greater than 1, if MAX is greater than 1, Py by Px is also greater than 1. This can be proved immediately. That means this quantity is greater than 1 provided MAX is greater than 1 and gamma is greater than 1. This can be proved easily because if you subtract minus 1 from here, then you will see that 2 gamma by gamma plus 1 will be thing. That means if you subtract minus 1, it will, that means Py by Px minus 1 is a simple thing that you can do 2 gamma by gamma plus 1 into MAX square minus 1. That means for any value of MAX square greater than 1, so this is positive. That means Py by Px is greater than 1. So this can be proved. This is a very important conclusion. That means after this shock, the flow reaches subsonic. That means the flow is decelerated, and at the same time the pressure is increased. That means Py is greater than Px. Okay. So this is the ratio. Then again these are the routine affair, that rho y by rho x as a function of mx. Very simple thing. So rho y by rho x, we have already found out the function that py by px as a function of mx is known. Similarly, we have found out ty by tx. So if we can express rho y by rho x by these two ratios from the equation of state, we can find it. We know that P is equal to rho RT. So rho y by rho x is Py by Px into Tx by Ty. So Tx by Ty as a function, we know Ty by Tx. Similarly, this as a function of Mx we know. So we can find out rho y by rho x. So similar way we can find out Vy by Vx. Vy by Vx from the continuity is rho x by rho y. That means rho y by rho x means the reverse Vx by Vy. So this way we can find out the functional relationship Max. Let this is some function, or this 1 by function Max. It's another function of Max. So this way we can find out the ratio of the properties, any properties P, T, rho, V after the shock to that before the shock in terms of the Mach number Max. Now one important thing is the stagnation pressure POY and POX. Now see, in a shock POY and POX are not maintained same. This is because shock is an irreversible process, friction is there. So stagnation pressures are not same. Let us, so this is the measure of the irreversibility. Measure of irreversibility. Irreversibility. Now before going for a routine evaluation of this, you must know this thing, that in a flow the stagnation temperature remains constant when the flow is adiabatic, because stagnation temperature is the index of the stagnation enthalpy. Alright? Because in a perfect gas, when there is no heat transfer in adiabatic flow, the stagnation enthalpy remains constant, total energy, enthalpy plus the kinetic energy. And in case of an ideal gas, the enthalpy can be expressed as Cp into T. So therefore, Cp into T plus V square by 2 is known as the stagnation enthalpy. That means Cp T0, that is H0. So stagnation temperature is fixed, provided there is no energy added or energy taken out. But stagnation pressure will not be same. Stagnation pressure by definition is the pressure which could be reached if the flow is decelerated or comes to the stagnation condition isentropically without friction. That means the entire kinetic energy is converted only in the pressure energy. Understand? Only in the pressure energy, not in the enthalpy, through the internal energy. That is a very useful concept, I think in fluid mechanics also you know. That's why in energy conservation, whether friction is there or not, there is no loss, total energy remains same. But difference is that when friction is there, some part is converted in intermolecular energy. But in inviscid flow or isentropic flow, without heat transfer, the stagnation pressure remains same. That means there is no degradation in the intermolecular energy. That means the entire kinetic energy becomes zero. When it comes to stagnation test, the entire kinetic energy is converted only to the pressure energy. And that pressure is known as the stagnation pressure. So stagnation pressure will be equal when the flow will be frictionless. But for any natural flow, when the flow is brought to rest, that is the stagnation condition, the pressure there is not exactly the stagnation pressure by its definition. Okay, so therefore you see the ratio of the stagnation pressure in any flow is the measure of the irreversibility. That means its departure from 1 is the measure of the irreversibility. Let us find out POY by POX. The routine procedure is very simple. We can express in terms of their local values and Px by Pox. And we know POI by POI, Px by Pox, that means the ratio of the stagnation properties to the local properties in case of pressure will be 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 ma square gamma by gamma minus 1. And Py by Px also, this ratio also we have deduced in terms of the Mach number. That means we know this Py by Px, that means Py by Px just now I derived, that means Py by Px is this. So we can replace Py by Px in terms of the Max, Py by Py in terms of the May, and Px by Pox in terms of the Max. and this MAY is again substituted in terms of MAX. So finally we get an expression only in terms of MAX like this. This is a big expression. Again I am telling you, don't have to remember this, only thing is that you will have to remember the way it is being deduced. 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MAX square to the power gamma by gamma minus 1, well, I think is equal to here, then divided by 2 gamma by gamma plus 1 MAX square minus gamma minus 1 by gamma plus 1 whole to the power 1 by gamma minus 1. So this is the relationship between POY and POX, and we can see the value of POY by PX is not unity. That means it is different from 1. So stagnation pressure, and we can prove that POY is less than POX when MAX is greater than 1. That means this is because of the friction. When MAX is greater than 1, that means supersonic flow is changed to subsonic flow through a process shock where POY is less than POX. That means it is the effect of friction that the stagnation pressure is lower than the initial stagnation pressure. Now after this we are interested to find out what is the change of S entropy. Let specific entropy small s, we are interested in that. What is the change of entropy? Earlier in HS plane we have recognized that for a shock to occur, the entropy has to increase according to second law of thermodynamics. So what is the value of this? So routine calculation starts from the thermodynamic property relation TdS is dH minus VdP. For a perfect gas we can write TdS, dH is Cp dt, and V is, what is V? R by P. Well, V is PV is equal to RT, RT by P dP. So therefore ds is equal to, very simple, that you have already learned in your basic thermodynamics, R dP by P. So now the job is to integrate only ds from x to y, this is upstream to downstream section. So Cp dt by T, x to y minus integral, we can take R outside the characteristic gas constant, which is constant, so we can take outside the integral. Now therefore we can write Sy minus Sx is simply Cp ln Ty by Tx minus R ln Py by Px. Now this R can be written with this formula, Cp you know is equal to gamma by gamma minus 1 into R. That means R is equal to gamma minus 1 by gamma, alright, into Cp. So if I replace this value of R here and take Cp common, that is ln, then it becomes ln Ty by Tx, and then this coefficient can go as a power here, that means Py by Px. It is a minus, so ln x minus ln y as ln x by y, using this formula to the power gamma minus 1 by gamma. So I can write this gamma minus 1 by gamma Cp, Cp is coming common. So ln Ty by Tx minus ln Py by Px rest gamma minus 1 by gamma, this comes. So this is the Sy minus Sx. Now this can also be written in terms of the stagnation properties, and it is very simple that we can use the stagnation properties. This can be straight away written as, let me write it again, otherwise there will be problem. Sy minus Sx is equal to Cp ln Ty by Tx, well, divided by Py by Px to the power gamma minus 1. This can be straight away written Cp ln Toy by Tox divided by POY by POX to the power. Now you may say, sir, why are you writing like this? As if it appears the ratio of the properties is equal to the ratio of their stagnation properties. It is not so, but by the relationships it appears so. That means if you write TOY by TY, that is equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MAY square. Similarly, if you write TOX by TX is equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 MAX square. That means the ratio TY by TX is not equal to the ratio TOX by TOY by TOX, but they will carry the ratio between these two. But at the same time, the POY by PY, if you do this calculation, it will be obvious, immediate, MAY square to the power just the reciprocal of it, gamma by gamma minus 1. And similarly, POX by PX will be the same quantity with Mach number x square to the power gamma by gamma minus 1. So with the help of these four equations, if you express Ty by Tx, the ratio of the temperatures in terms of their stagnation temperatures, and the ratio of the pressures in terms of their stagnation pressures, you will see this gamma minus 1, gamma by. So this ratio of these two quantities will cancel from the numerator and denominator, so that ultimately it is very interesting that the same ratio, that means the variables in terms of the local properties can be just changed or substituted in terms of the stagnation properties, so that we can express this. Now here one thing is that TOY is equal to TOX, so this is 1 in case of shock, because it is an adiabatic condition, there is no energy is added or extracted. So therefore the stagnation temperatures are same, that is 1. That means minus Cp ln POY by POX to the power gamma minus 1. Now if I take this thing here in the coefficient, then it can be written and again replaced it by R ln POY by POX. So one simple expression that SY minus SX by R, it is a non-dimensional quantity this side ln. Now since POY is, already we have proved that POY is less than POX. So therefore this is always greater than 0, that entropy is always increased. Alright. Now a very routine and very tedious calculations one can make again to have the same conventional things, that the entropy change in terms of the Mach number, that as a function of upstream Mach number. What he has to do? He has to substitute this big expression of POY by POX in terms of the Mach number. Somewhere earlier we have deduced it, that POY by POX in terms of the, well, in terms of the Mach number MAX. If we do that, we ultimately get the expression SOY, that means we get the expression SY minus SX. I think you have understood that already we have deduced this. So this is very interesting equation in very simplified form, but if we want to express in terms of Mach number at the upstream section MX, then we have to substitute this ratio as a function of MX, which we have deduced earlier, and final result is that SY minus SX by R is equal to, it is a very big one, gamma by gamma minus 1. There is no reason to remember it, but you must know this, gamma plus 1 MAX square plus gamma minus 1 by gamma plus 1 plus 1 by gamma minus 1 ln, well, 2 gamma by gamma plus 1 MAX square minus gamma minus 1 by gamma plus 1. Now, usual convention is to draw, now we can show in figure the variation of entropy change SY minus SX by R with Mach number MAX. Now it has been proved already that POY is less than POX. So SY minus SX is positive, greater than, greater than 0. I am sorry, greater than 0. So greater than 0, that means entropy increases, greater than 0, it is not greater than 1, greater than 0. So this can be expressed in terms of max. Now we can plot it. So if you take a value of gamma between 1 to 1.67, let us consider a value, any value 1.44 for diatomic gases, then we can plot this and we will see that, well, so this is the one Mach number, let this increase as 3 like that in a supersonic region. This is supersonic, supersonic, and this is subsonic, well, subsonic. So we will see the Mach number, if this entropy is going like this. So therefore this is an impossible, this is the possible shock waves, where the entropy increases, possible shocks. And this is the impossible region. That means where the Sy minus Sx are negative. That means the possible shocks corresponding to an upstream Mach number which is greater than 1. But for an upstream Mach number which is less than 1, a process will reduce the entropy in an adiabatic flow, which is violating the second law of thermodynamics. Mathematically we can see that there is an asymptotic approach to the minus infinity when the Mach number reaches a particular value in the subsonic range. This can be found out from this expression. Here you see that this argument becomes 0, implying an infinite value for this in the negative axis. Then we can find that a particular value of max square which becomes equal to gamma minus 1 by 2 gamma plus 1. Alright. So that value of max square makes this argument 0. So this argument 0, this is the ln, so therefore this becomes. So a particular value of ma, this becomes. That this part of the curve is impossible. This part of the curve is impossible. Alright. So this is the change in entropy. Now we just show at the end the come to this to have an idea of stagnation, pressure, temperature. Let us draw the Fano line in TS diagram. We know that we drew Fano line earlier in HS diagram. In a perfect gas, H is equal to CPT. For a calorically perfect gas, Cp is constant. So H and T are same. That means they are just changed with a scale factor. So the same graph we can draw in TS diagram with the same qualitative picture like this. So this is Fano line. Alright. So this is Fano line. This is Fano line. So if you recall the Rayleigh line, which is like this is the Rayleigh line. This is the Rayleigh line. And the intersection between the Fano line and the Rayleigh line is the shock. That means this is the direction of the shock. That means the shock takes place in such a way that there is a change in entropy. So this is the region where Mach is greater than 1, Ma, that means supersonic. This is the region where Mach is less than 1. So this is Rayleigh line. I must draw that this is Rayleigh line. I must write R-A-Y-L-E-I-G-H, Rayleigh line. Alright. So therefore we see that these are the intersection. Now here one thing is very clear, that this is the upstream side and this is the downstream side. That means this is the X and this is the Y. We have already discussed the shock wave. The upstream and downstream points must match both the Rayleigh line conditions and Fano line conditions. So this is the direction of the shock. So shock takes place in these directions from X to Y. Now therefore we see that in a shock the stagnation temperature is fixed, that is TOX, because this is adiabatic, is equal to TOY. That means if I draw an isentropic line from here, vertical line, so this cuts here, the constant pressure lines in TS diagram like this. These are the constant pressure line for a gas, for example the perfect gas here. So this is the POX. But now this state, if I draw an isentropic line, that means if I draw an isentropic line from X, this cuts the isentropic temperature corresponding to this state, and this point corresponds to a particular constant pressure line, which physically signifies the stagnation pressure corresponding to this state. That means the stagnation pressure corresponding to the pressure at this state. Similarly, this is valid for any state. That state y, it has got a pressure Py and it has got a temperature Ty and it has got a stagnation temperature Toy. If x and y are the points in an adiabatic flow, that means between these 2 points no energy is added or extracted, that means the isentropic stagnation temperature is same. That means if I draw the isentropic line and if we just come up to the same stagnation temperature, because Tox is Ty, so we come up to this point and the constant pressure line passing through this point will indicate the stagnation pressure corresponding to this point. Since this point is right of this, it is obvious geometrically also, that means the entropy has increased for this point from this point, then a isentropic, that a vertical line will cut the same horizontal line to a point where the constant pressure line POY, which is less than POX. That means this is the difference in the stagnation pressure. Stagnation pressure is decreased where the stagnation temperature remains same. So this is precisely the graphical representation of the shock. This is the Fano line flow, this is the Rayleigh line flow. Again I am telling, this curve is the Fano line flow. That means the flow without heat transfer but with friction and the steady state condition, that is same mass flow. And this is the Rayleigh line where the flow takes place without friction but in general heat transfer is there and the steady state mass flow condition is maintained, that the same mass flow. But the shock occurs in such a way that upstream and downstream both satisfies the conditions of no heat transfer, conditions of no heat transfer, conditions of no friction and also the steady state condition. It is very important, and there lies the concept that the shock is such that interior details of the shock, friction is there. Shock is a frictional process, a natural process which increases the entropy. But upstream and downstream of the shock refers to the conditions that no energy is added and ultimately the friction is taken to be negligible in a sense that when you take the momentum equation, that across the shock wave the control volume is so thin that we have neglected the momentum, neglected the frictional effect. So this is an approximation, but it is a very good approximation, so that equality of impulse functions are valid. So therefore, both the upstream and downstream sections corresponds to both the Fano line and Rayleigh line conditions. So therefore, they correspond to the intersections of Rayleigh line and Fano line points. So therefore, again coming to this picture, you see, so these are the 2 points. So this has to be upstream, this has to be downstream because of the second law. And this figure shows you the corresponding stagnation pressure where the stagnation temperature remains same. All right. I think, okay. Any question? Question? Okay, thank you.